Alive? Hello and welcome back to The Chess. Today we continue our live coverage of the games of Ratmir Kholmov. I pronounced his surname properly this time, only thanks to those of you who wrote in to correct me. We always enjoy reading your letters, no matter how critical they often are. Today is September the 3rd, 1949, and I am your host, Phillip Biro. For any new viewers, why are we following Ratmir? Well, in short, he is a very interesting player of the game. He is known as Stopper in Soviet circles because of his notorious defense, and he's also a terrifically imaginative attacker to boot. Today we're in Latvia's capital city, Riga, where Ratmir is playing a simultaneous exhibition match against some lucky Lats. It's a regular simul, so no clocks today. And Ratmir onto board 7 now, and opens again with c4. We might see the same first move on every board today. His opponent here is one Mikhail Tal, a local boy. Mikhail plays e6 straight away, and yes, as with other boards, Ratmir is playing a few moves just to get it into the opening, so he's staying on board 7. Knight c3, reasonable after the c4 start. Okay, d5, very sensible. And maybe d4. Yes, straight away, transposing into a queen's gambit declined. c6. They're playing very quickly. Knight f3. Knight f6. We're in a semi-Slav defense now. Ratmir pins the knight. White is just one move away here from being able to recapture the pawn on c4 if black decides to take d takes c. Yes, black does that, so this young lad is prepared, it seems. e4. Oh! b5! Jumping straight into a razor-sharp position, and Tal doesn't even blink, allowing e5. Wow! I mean, what's the best move here? Potentially just e5 straight away. I mean, it's playable, it's been seen before, but yes, this is very sharp. Bishop backing off? No! Takes! Okay, I'll just show a quick variation. So we put the bishop back, and h4 is a more normal place for the bishop. So instead of taking, the bishop retreats, g5, knight takes the pawn captures, bishop takes, and knight d7. So why am I showing you this? 4 years ago, the US and the USSR played a chess match over the radio. The war made chess in person rather tricky, and the Soviets destroyed the US. Terribly embarrassing. The Yanks were flabbergasted, and as they'd won the last 4 chess Olympiads. But the Soviets hadn't played in those tournaments, so in one of these matches, Arnold Denker from the US played against Mikhail Botvinnik, and Botvinnik unveiled this line. Well, this is a transposition. Denker played d4, but basically the same thing. So perhaps the young Tal decided to borrow the opening from his fellow Mikhail. It's a complicated old bat, though. Very brave indeed. All right, let's go back to the game. So, Kholmov takes, and let's just see what's happened. We're just going to catch up with the live game. So, Mikhail Tal takes back with the pawn. I'm expecting pawn recaptures exactly. And now queen recaptures. No! Doesn't take back straight away. Okay, this is the live position. Ratmir isn't yet back at the board. All right, let's move on to the next game. Okay, back at board 7. And Ratmir is looking at this position. We're only at move 9 and it looks a terrible mess. Okay, he's developed bishop to e2. Kholmov getting on with development, not keen to waste time with g3, bishop g2, getting that bishop on the long diagonal, just wants to get castled to safety straight away. And I'm expecting the young lad to take back with the queen. Yes, he does that, exactly. So the young Latvian, happy with his queen's cozy spot on f6, doesn't want to see the knight jumping to e4. Tal's development isn't great. These two pieces, the bishop and the knight, still on their home squares, and we have an open g-file. I'm expecting... Ooh, okay, these grandmasters. Crikey. I would be very scared of putting my king on the open g-file. They have such confidence. He's not scared of this 12-year-old's attacking pressure. You can certainly see some of the players here are definitely feeling the pressure. Tal looks concentrated. I don't think too nervous. It's hard to say, but some people you can definitely tell are nervous, and it's really taking its toll. He's played a move. He's taken the knight. Okay, interesting. The young Latvian, happy with his queen's cozy spot on f6, probably didn't want to see the knight jumping to e4, so takes it off the board. And yes, b takes c. Obvious move. Tal is behind in development, needs to get on with it. He's got an uncastled king. His rooks aren't connected. He's got two minor pieces on the queen side still to be developed. We want to put our bishop on b7 as black here, and we want to put our knight on d7. Yes, knight to d7 is played. Not wanting to see that nasty knight land on e5. That white knight landing on e5 would have been such a pain to deal with. Tal stomps out that idea with knight to d7. Kholmov playing on the queen side, trying to soften up those pawns. And quite quickly, bishop b7 in response. So Tal, one move away from full development here, castling queen or king side available, maybe even just popping the king on e7. If he does that, he can't be attacked. If he went to d7, if the knight vacated d7 and he went to d7, it's in line with the queen. It's an open file. It doesn't like it, so the king might just pop up to d7. Whoa! White jumps in anyway, saying to black, now where the juice is your king going, old bean? I was just talking about castling or popping up, but if the D file is opened up, it really... Kholmov is sacking a pawn, saying, I don't care about material here. I'm the Grandmaster. This is very interesting stuff. Not afraid of going 2 pawns down, blasting open lines towards the black king, and importantly, clearing room for the bishop to land on f3. I'm afraid for the wee Ben. Mikhail Tal here. He's so little. He's so little. It's just, it's ridiculous, the disparity here. Wow. Let's see if he takes it. I mean, he's got to take it, surely. We discussed the knight. The knight, he takes it. The knight was a pain on e5, takes, and we're obviously going to see takes back, and now, I don't see anything better than just to take that pawn. He does, he takes it. Tal is up 2 pawns, but his king is very weak. He's allowed this. It's weak. It's in the center of the board. First things first. Oh, I was going to say, Kholmov has to defend that pawn on c3, but no, he doesn't. He doesn't defend it. Wow. Okay. What's wrong with taking on c3? This is what it's like playing Grandmasters. I've never played one myself. I came close, but administration issue. I couldn't. It doesn't matter. So, but I imagine. Look at this. He's saying, have another pawn. Go for it. Will he take it? No. Whoa! Mikhail is the first to pounce on the airy column. Rook to d8. Okay, we're back at board 7. And Ratmir is reaching for his queen. It's queen c2. Very logical. He wants to get the chunky boys, the rooks on A and F files, to the d-file. Wants to lay claim to that d-file and keep an eye on c3 in the process. That makes sense. But black isn't giving him the time to do it, adding another attacker to the c-pawn, asking white how he's going to defend it without playing terribly passively. White takes a pawn. Okay, indirect defense, playing a forcing move with... I was going to say playing a forcing move of his own, but we have rook takes on f3. A exchange sacrifice. I mentioned earlier the rook on the g file, potentially the king very exposed on the g file itself. How cheeky. I was wrong about the rook's intentions. This Grandmaster must have missed this delicious exchange sacrifice. This, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is how to give up a rook for a minor piece. This young Regan has got Ratmir's full attention now. He's staying at the board. What will he play? I can't imagine he's going to take back. That would be suicide, surely. Okay, let's see. What else does he have? Is there a forcing move here? Is there a counterattack? He's reaching. Yes, okay. Rook takes a7. Kholmov is staring at the board the longest time he spent at any of the board today. He knows he needs to find something special now. Counterattacks. Now, what will Mikhail Tal do here? He can take the pawn on c3 with an attack on the queen. That's what I would play. I think he's got to do it. I think he's going to lose his bishop otherwise. He could play bishop c8 here. Okay, the young lad is picking up his queen. He's taken on b5. Wow, I did not expect that. Saying, please take my rook. Please, I'd love you to. Okay, white still can't take it on f3. So, what will he play here? How about rook b1? Attacking the queen, attacking the black queen, and she's skewered to the bishop, standing behind her. So I think that... Oh my God. No. Oh, I have just spotted a ruthless tactic in that position. So if rook b1 now, black says very well, and plays rook takes c3. Here, take my rook, please, for the sake of goodness. Why won't you take it? Well, because if queen takes rook, that's the white queen takes the rook on c3, then the black queen takes the rook on b1 with an unstoppable mate. Tremendous. Okay, Ratmir is back at the board. 7. The very exciting game, probably the highlight of the day so far. Ratmir is stood looming over the young boy. He looks uncertain. I've got to be honest, he doesn't look that sure himself. He's reaching... Pardon me? No! Take back, please. Kholmov must have sneezed and knocked over the pawn by mistake. This is the end, surely. What am I missing? What am I missing? This is suicide. Okay, we've just had g takes on f3. Kholmov takes the rook and says, well, I'm up on material only, but my God, the open g file, the rook can swing over. Tal is rocking in his chair. He looks like a predator going in for the kill here. I must be missing something. What am I missing? Yet we have queen to g5. I think only one legal move. Ratmir's either got a tremendous poker face or he sees something I don't, because he doesn't look flustered at all. He's played king h1 and rook g8. Yes, there's nothing here. It's mate on the next move. Well, white has a couple of checks he can give in spite and frustration at having let this child crush him in a handful of moves. But no, this is decidedly done. He stretched out his hand. That's it. My sainted aunt. The mind can't comprehend. What have we just witnessed here? I really must go and congratulate the winner, Mikhail Tal. Please, bear with me. As ever with these diminutive geniuses, It's quite a queer feeling to shake the hand of someone who's quite so strong over the board, yet with the stature of a shrew. He's tiny, a tiny monster. In life, one must go where the wind takes one, changing tack when appropriate. So I've had a word with our producer, and we've decided to pause our coverage of Ratmir Kholmov and recenter the attention of this series on the wee lad from Riga, Mikhail Tal. Let's see what he can do.